Hey everybody, it's Brendon Burchard, author of the #1 New York Times bestselling book, The Millionaire Messenger, and founder of Partnership Seminar, where we teach you how do you get your next cause or idea sponsored and promoted by other major nonprofits and Fortune 500 companies. And in this video, Anderson has asked me to share with you some tips on how do you raise money for your cause right now. You know, one of the things I love about Anderson is he's always getting incredibly heartfelt, caring, smart, giving, bold people on his shows. He's always finding and attracting stories of people who have a purpose. They've had a unique story or a unique thing in their life, and now they're trying to give back. And he's attracted so many heroes in his career. He's attracted so many people who have so much to give. And often they ask him and they ask the show and they ask the guests like myself, well, how do I go out there and get this message out there? You know, how do I reach more people with it? And obviously, Anderson's platform is excellent for that. It really helps people get their stories out there. And in terms of raising money for your cause, well, how do you do that? So this video is all about sharing just 4 basic things that you need to have in place in order to raise money for your cause. And these are the basic building blocks of running any nonprofit organization, or frankly, sharing any message you have with the world. And I've been blessed now to train more social entrepreneurs in the world about how to get their message out there and raise funds and awareness for their causes than any other single trainer. And in that process, I've also done it myself. You know, I began, if you haven't heard my story before, I began my journey as a 19-year-old kid when I got in a car accident. And it taught me that at the end of our lives, we're all going to ask 3 basic questions. We're going to ask, did I live? You know, did I live my life fully and vibrantly and joyously? We'll ask, did I love? Did I love openly and honestly and completely? And we'll ask, did I matter? You know, did I make a difference? Maybe I didn't change the whole world, but did I change somebody's world? And it's that last question of, did I matter, that inspired me to start trying to get my own message out there. And it began with me writing books and doing speeches and coming up with crazy ideas that I want to do these events and get them sponsored and promoted. And along the way, I learned so much about getting my message out there into the world that not only did we get so good at it, but raised over $1 million and became a multimillionaire myself. And all in that process, I've worked with so many entrepreneurs, so many nonprofits, so many Fortune 500 companies who are taking on new projects and starting new promotions, trying to raise funds and awareness for specific causes, that now it's led me to this relationship with Anderson where he's asked me to come on his show and now share this message with you specifically. So how do you do it? How do you all begin? Well, at the base of this framework that I'll be teaching you is this idea of having a purpose. And obviously you're here watching this video because you've got a cause or an idea, and now you're trying to raise funds and awareness for that. Where do you begin? What should you think about? How do you make it all happen? That's what this video is again about. The first thing I want to reveal to you is this concept called positioning. And positioning is this idea that before you go out there and you just kind of run in one direction trying to raise funds and awareness for your cause, we've got to intelligently position you in the marketplace so that donors notice you, so that partners notice you, so that people notice you, so that other corporations or foundations notice you and can give to you. But it begins with a strategic idea about how are you going to position yourself differently in the marketplace. For example, if your cause is like a cancer-based cause, meaning you're trying to raise funds and awareness for your cause that supports cancer research, well, there's thousands and thousands of causes doing that. And a lot of people don't have the perspective because we're driven so much by our purpose and our passion that we forget that the nonprofit world is a real business world. You know, I don't know if you know this, but in the United States alone, there's almost 2 million nonprofit organizations. You've got to learn to position yourself as unique, as different, as adding different kinds of value and engaging with your audience, your potential donors or the people you support in different ways. In other words, your goal is to be distinct. Being distinct and setting up a strategy for figuring out how are you different? How will you serve people differently? How will you engage with the marketplace, with people, with donors, with other organizations differently? That's all this concept of positioning. Positioning your cause, your organization in a way that's unique, that drives unique value to people, and that is something that people should contribute with. And as part of this positioning, you need to be very clear on some key messages. Messages like, what is it you do specifically to help people? And what is it specifically you want people to do to engage with you to help you? So if a donor comes across your website, is it very clear on your website, as an example, what you want them to do for you? Is it give $10 over here, get involved in this next walk, get involved in this next thing you're doing? What is it specifically? These are all core concepts of positioning. The takeaway here is, how are you different? What is your key message to the marketplace in terms of what you do and how you want people to support you? Get clear on that, then we can start. But if we don't have good positioning, if we don't know why we are unique, then no one else will know why we're unique and they won't contribute to us. If you're just starting out and you don't know this nonprofit world, as a resource, go to a website called charitynavigator.org. That's charitynavigator.org, O-R-G. That is a great third-party independent website that reviews, ranks, and profiles other nonprofit organizations in the world, and even rates them based on how well they're doing in terms of their giving. So they say, this organization really gives most of their money to their cause. This one over here doesn't. And it's a really great way to learn about other organizations that might be related to your cause. So again, back to the cancer example, if you're doing something in that area, just go to charitynavigator.org and in the search box, hit cancer and see what comes up, see what other organizations are doing, and start forming in your mind, just maybe in your journal or on a notepad, how are you different than them? What makes you unique? Last part about this positioning is to start thinking about your core giving story, meaning what is a story that you can always tell to audiences that they always remember you by? When I began with one of my first nonprofit endeavors, I'd always leave that story of my car accident and talking about these 3 questions of did I live, and did I love, and did I matter? And people started remembering that, and they would share that, and that helped in my positioning once I explained what I was doing very clearly. So that's all part of your overall positioning strategy, and you've got to get this first. This, by the way, is the #1 challenge when major nonprofits around the world hire me to come in and sit down with them and walk through their strategy. This is almost always the problem. They think it's promoting or donor fundraising or coming up with some new walkathon. And I'm usually like, how are you different? Why should someone get involved with you? If you're clear there, we can proceed. Next step then is to have a presence in the marketplace as a nonprofit or as a person sharing this message. This presence means presence in 2 ways. We can have an offline presence and an online presence. I'll talk about the online presence because people know about that, and then we'll talk about some strategies in offline. In terms of online presence, you know today to succeed in raising money, raising funds, and awareness, you have to have a website. And on that website, you should seek not just to ask people for money, but you should add value to them. You should put some training in your area of expertise. You should put some content posts that help people understand what it is that you do. You should be very, very, very clear about why you're different, again, your positioning, and how you help other people. And you should post all the information related to your organization that people might find relevant as a nonprofit organization. That's the basics of signing up and having a great website. We all know that. But today you also need to have a presence in some specific areas. One, you've got to have social media presence. You've got to be on Facebook, on Twitter as an example, on Google Plus as an example. You've got to be out there sharing your message consistently. You can't just have a website and hope people find it. You've got to go out and engage other groups and other thought leaders and tastemakers online through social media who can help share your message. As you know, today, the greatest way to have an online presence spread virally is through video. We continue to see more and more nonprofits making tremendous impact in the world by putting up great videos and tweeting those and Facebooking those and engaging people who already have massive followers on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube to help share the message of that video. Today, an online presence in the nonprofit world requires great video. Whether it's you just talking direct to camera like this, or you having a video shot about your organization or your cause, or you doing a documentary, those videos will end up being the things that share the message the most because they're viral. They're able to be shared around the world. You should be on social media. You should have a website. You should be on YouTube doing videos. And offline, you should have a presence in the overall nonprofit market space. What do I mean by that? You should be going and attending nonprofit fundraisers in your local community to meet people in your local community who are already in the giving world. Because who goes to fundraisers? Influential people or non-influential people? Influential people, right? So you want to be going to nonprofit fundraisers in your local area. Best tip here, pick up the phone, call your local chamber of commerce and say, hey, what are the major nonprofit fundraisers happening in our backyard, in our community here over the next 12 months? Get that calendar, look in the newspaper, start attending fundraisers. One, it's kind of karmic. You start adding value by going to fundraisers and maybe giving a little bit, then you'll meet people there who are already donors, already in the giving community, and nothing will raise more funds and awareness for your organization than through sheer networking. Old school, old fashioned, go to live fundraising events, shake hands, meet people, collect cards, get to know them, and allow them to open up doors for you and your cause. So get involved in the space, have a presence in the offline space, in your local community in terms of fundraisers, conferences. There are also other conferences that you can go to around the country to learn about how to do all of this. You know, IEG does a great sponsorship conference in Chicago. You can sign up for our online programs called Partnership Seminar. Go through our courses online. You can go and study under Craigslist has posted some really great trainings for nonprofit organizations. They also have a nonprofit conference out there. So there's plenty of conferences to learn about doing all of this better. Go to them, study, again, get in the space, shake hands, exchange cards. It will help you get and access a greater network for yourself. And that's where the real growth is going to come from for you. Because if you are online and people can find you online and you're in the offline world, you're networking and meeting movers and shakers, that's going to help you perpetuate what you're doing right now. Third, you've got to think of yourself as a business, as a nonprofit, as someone sharing a message. You've got to start promoting on an active, continual basis. What do we mean by that? Well, in your website, you've got to start collecting names and email addresses. You've got to start partnering with other organizations that have names and email addresses and sending out promotions. Maybe if you're trying to raise funds for local schools, as an example, you've got to start sending out consistent communications with people that tell them about who you are, that highlight specific projects you are doing, and yes, that actually ask you for money too, right? Ask them for money, I should say, so that you have people on a continual basis who are hearing from you. The number one problem outside of positioning with nonprofit organizations, once they have a presence, is that they are not actively promoting enough. They're sitting around going, we don't understand why we have no money. We don't know why we don't have no funds. We don't know why no one knows about us. I say, well, what are you doing to promote? What new content are you putting out there? What new videos are you putting out there? How active are you on social media? How many times have you sent out to your newsletter subscribers every single month? All of that needs to be strategically thought out. You should be thinking of yourself as a marketing company. I know it sounds scary. It's like, wait, Brendon, I'm not a marketer. No, but you are a messenger. You have a purpose. You're trying to share a message with the world. And the way to share that message with the world is ultimately through marketing. It's about being online and offline and telling people about what you do and asking for money, support, and awareness. If you don't ask, you shall not receive, right? And part of the great new world of promoting is if you put great content out there, let's say you create some documentaries on your area of emphasis, and people like them, just by giving them that documentary, letting them watch it, they like you, they give you money. It's like this unbelievable great thing where it's not just ask and you shall receive, it's give and you shall receive. Last, we've got to teach you and have you start focusing on partnering with other organizations. See, most of us, especially in the Western culture, especially in the United States, we believe in the self-made millionaire or the self-made organization. And that's unfortunate because the reality is there are already so many other organizations that are in your area of expertise. Lots of people think, especially in the nonprofit world, they think that their cause is so unique and so different. But when they start looking out there, they actually start to discover there are hundreds of organizations that are probably already in your topic area. And I don't do this to make you feel bad or scared. I tell you that as an opportunity. That's the greatest thing ever. that there are other organizations out there who have already figured out how to serve, how to raise money, how to build an audience, how to get their message out there. Your job is to go out and model them, learn from them, pay attention, see what they're doing. Before you launch your online presence, go on again to charitynavigator.org. Check out all of their websites. Look at the websites of the nonprofits listed there in terms of the top 10 nonprofits in the world. See how they're engaging with the community. Look what they're doing on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. The great thing about our new transparent society is that you can now go and look and research and see everything that everybody else is doing, and you can model it for yourself. Second, these folks have already figured out how to serve unique audiences, and they've figured out how to get their message out there in a bigger way. And they've already built a platform of people that they reach out to raise funds and awareness from. They already have media partnerships. They've already got access to the world of donors that you need access to. So your job is to reach out to them. Yes, actually do that crazy thing, which is pick up the phone or send them an email and say, hey, I'm new in this space. Or, hey, this is my cause. This is what I'm trying to do. I see you're doing this. It seems like we align and we should collaborate together. Why don't we hop on the phone and brainstorm a few ideas that I can bring my audience to you, and we could potentially add some value to your audience through me, whether it's through a webinar or a video or some social media posts. You see, right now, the old world, I mean, you think about like the 80s and 90s, business itself functioned on competition. Today, with the global marketplace, what we have now is an entire universe and economy focusing on collaboration. It's the collaboration across multiple platforms, across multiple brands and businesses, across nonprofits and corporations that are generating the greatest amounts of wealth today that we've ever seen. That open-sourced idea that everyone can get involved and be part of a story is what makes a video go viral. It's what makes an organization want to work with another one and another one want to sponsor you. And so what you've got to figure out is what organizations, what people, what other nonprofits, whether it's a foundation or corporation or foundation, should you be targeting to go out and approach to get partnerships with and come up with unique ideas? Maybe the two of you do a marketing campaign together, or a contest, or a sweepstakes, or you do a tour across America, or you do some online specific promotion. But you should be thinking about leveraging the platforms of other nonprofit organizations, foundations, and corporations that already reach your target audience. And that's the way you make this go bam, fast. So I hope this serves you in all of this thinking through it, positioning and building your presence and promoting and partnering. Always, always, always stay connected to your purpose. Stay connected to what it is that got you into this in the first place. Because here's the truth about doing all of this. Raising funds and awareness for all of your causes will always be a struggle. It will always be a challenge. It is a business in itself. It is a lot of work, and it's worth it. And all of the effort that you put out to make a difference in the world all leads to this grand answer at the end of your life when you answer this question of, did I matter? And you have the opportunity now to go out and make a difference. You have some takeaways here. You have some resources here. Anderson's been so kind to provide you with this video and provide you with all the other resources he always does and the inspiring stories he brings on his show every single day. Keep watching to keep inspired. Keep watching to learn more. And more importantly, go get your message out there. The world is waiting to hear from you. You now have some tools and some ideas to start. If we can support you more, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this for free, just go to partnershipseminar.com, enter your name and email. We're happy to offer you some more training videos there. And along the way, make sure that you are always staying connected to that which you've started this whole journey for. A message to make a difference in other people's lives. I hope this has served you. I look forward to seeing you out there online with your presence. I hope to see you on the road someday. Until then, go out every single day of your life, live fully, love openly, and make your difference today.